Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad, and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the DCEU Daily. And remember, you can also follow me on Vero at Movies TV Mad. So, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's marketing blunder. Now, there's a big spread in an upcoming Total Film magazine. There's new pictures of the film, on-set pics of Black Adam, and he does a lot of talking. Unfortunately, he thinks his talking is marketing gold, but it's a marketing blunder. So let's see what The Rock's had to say. We can do anything if we keep the audience first. So to me, there's a battle that's going to go down one day between Black Adam and Superman. I don't know who that Superman is going to be. That's okay. I don't need to know right now. The Rock on Black Adam versus Superman. The Rock versus Superman is something. It's not the fans teasing it. The fans didn't pluck this out of the sky. It's not like Black Adam versus Superman is the biggest kind of punch-up you can get. After all, we've had Superman already fighting Batman. The Rock started this conversation years ago. Do you remember when they had that spread in the magazine, and The Rock and Henry Cavill were sitting at a table outside somewhere, and they were talking about the characters fighting. He's been talking and boasting how Black Adam can beat Superman in the fight. He's been going on and on and on. And now he pretty much tells us this battle is not going to happen in the first Black Adam movie. Now, we were hoping beyond hope that Henry Cavill's Superman would be in this first Black Adam movie. Now, logically, I understand why you wouldn't put Superman in the first Black Adam origin movie. It should be for Black Adam and what they're trying to set up. But unfortunately, Dwayne, you've been teasing this for a very, very long time. You did promo pics years ago with Henry Cavill, talking about his Superman. And now you say this. We'll repeat this. I don't know who that Superman is going to be. That's okay, I don't need to know right now. Well, is that why you took pictures with Henry Cavill all those years ago? Right? Come on. And to be fair to The Rock, things were different back then. The slate was different. He was still slated to play Black Adam, and there was probably a plan then for him to fight Henry Cavill's Superman. But now that's being taken away from us. Let's be clear here that The Rock is a puppet and a mouthpiece for Warner Brothers Pictures, right? Now, if you think this is bad, and I do think this is bad, right? He's been teasing this for years. Even within a lot of the stuff he said about the first film, he's kind of been saying things in a certain way to hint that Cavill's Superman was going to be in this first movie. This is very, very bad marketing. Now, this isn't what he said that people are mostly frustrated about. This frustration comes from me, and probably me alone. But again, this is down to Warner Brothers Pictures not deserving the rights to Superman. Just remember, Henry Cavill's Superman has been benched since 2017. That's ridiculous. If Kevin Feige was in charge of the DC Extended Universe, Superman would be front and center. It wouldn't surprise me in Black Adam 2 if they're planning for Black Adam to fight Ta-Nehisi Coates, Superman of Color, or Val Zod. Maybe that's what they're planning to do. Could that be cool? Probably. What would be cooler is Henry Cavill's Superman fighting The Rock, as you teased, and let's be honest, promised for years, Dwayne. And this is with the problem when you can't keep your mouth shut. I'll repeat what I said earlier. He's been teasing this fight for years. He's been teasing an appearance of Superman, Henry Cavill's Superman, in his Black Adam movie, and now pretty much he's hinting that this isn't going to happen. Now, he may just be saying this. Superman may be in this film. Cavill's Superman may be in this film. We don't know. But from what he's saying here, it doesn't look like this. Look like it. So I'm very, very disappointed about this. But the marketing blunder comes in what he says next. Again, this is Dwayne thinking he's delivering marketing gold, but it's marketing blunder. We paid attention to some of the pitfalls that the other DC films had experienced in the past in the world of DC, and what rightfully got a lot of fans unhappy and pissed. And as a fan, I was one of them at The Rock on the past DC films at #BlackAdam. So this is fascinating, isn't it? Not only does he say that he and his production on Black Adam paid attention to some of the pitfalls that other films had experienced in the past in the world of DC, and what rightfully got a lot of fans unhappy and pissed. And as a fan, I was one of them. Now, what's he talking about? Now, the problem here is you can make a lot of assumptions. So a lot of Snyderverse fans, not me, because I have a little bit more nuance than some other people, but a lot of Snyderverse fans have decided he's talking about the Snyderverse. Now, he could also be talking about Justice League, couldn't he? He could be talking about Birds of Prey. He could be talking about Wonder Woman 84. He could be talking about absolutely anything. But here's the thing. Man of Steel has its fans. BVS has its fans. The first Suicide Squad has its fans. Wonder Woman definitely has its fans. You know, even Justice League has some people that like it, unfortunately. Aquaman, Shazam, you know, but even Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman 84 has people who like that movie, those movies. So, what you don't do is say this, because you're going to piss off a group of people. So, you keep your mouth shut. Now, if he comes out and says, "Oh, we're avoiding the pitfalls of Justice League," which pissed off rightfully a lot of fans, I think a lot of people would have got behind that. Now, he could very well be talking about Justice League, but the problem is he's talking plural. And this is why a lot of the Snyderverse fans are pretty pissed about this. So let's look at this again. We paid attention to some of the pitfalls that other films had experienced in the past. So he's talking about plural. So he could be talking about the Snyderverse. The problem is we just don't know what he's talking about, and he is starting to piss off a lot of the Snyderverse fans. Now, none of this changes my mind and my hype energy for Black Adam. I'm still very excited for this movie. I like the idea that the Justice Society of America are going to be in it. I like what we saw at DC Fandom this year, back in October. It looks like an excellent movie, a really good comic book superhero movie. I hope it is. But he is doing a lot of bragging, and when you do as much bragging about a film that he's doing, it's got to sit well with the mainstream audience, because this is what they're going for. And, you know, Black Adam isn't really a well-known character. Of course, if you're a die-hard DC fan, you know loads about Black Adam, and you probably love him, and that's great. And I'm a die-hard DC fan, but not in terms of the comics. I don't read the comics. I'm a DC live-action fan. The reason I became a DC fan was because of Superman the movie and Smallville, right? And it got me into the comics a little bit and researching them and stuff, but I'm not a die-hard reader. I don't know Black Adam. I know what the character is. I know his background. I know what he's all about. And he sounds like an awesome character, and he's part of the Shazam universe, which makes him even more awesome, considering he was going to be the chosen one, and that's really why Black Adam hates Shazam. So it's exciting, right? But this isn't good. On its own, it's, as I say, if you're saying it, if I'm launching a huge YouTube channel, right, that's going to get a lot of attention, aka not my one, and I say, oh, we're not going to make the same mistakes let's just say I made a shit YouTube channel. Hey, this is a shit YouTube channel. So let's say I start again and I've got HD cameras and the picture looks a lot better than this. The sound is better than I sound right now. And I say, yes, that's right. I don't know. Let's talk about a big YouTuber maybe sponsoring me or something, right? Let's just pluck someone out the sky. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, yeah. He sponsored me, right? I'm doing videos with him, right? And so I become a bit of a mouthpiece for a huger platform. And I say it's not going to be like my old channel, which was shit. This is going to be so much better. But I would assume there's at least 5 of you out there who watch my videos religiously. Now, that's quite a lot of people for me, and I appreciate you. So if I go then and say, oh, it's going to be better than that shitty old channel, you 5 people, right, are going to be a bit upset and offended, because you're going to think, well, actually, Mick, yeah, your videos didn't look great, but we just came in for your opinion. Why are you selling out on what you used to do? Do you understand? So we have a man here who's been pushing for Superman to be in this movie, who's been saying how Black Adam can easily beat up Superman. In fact, in DC Fandom 2020, he was standing there saying, Superman, Wonder Woman, the Justice League, blah, 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 blah. You know, the power is going to change in the DC universe, or whatever he says, right? He says it a lot. When you say these things and when you make these claims, you should be fighting the Justice League. I know, maybe, instead of the Justice Society of America, he should have been fighting the Central Universe's Justice League. It's a bit difficult to make that happen. A, Superman's already fought the Justice League in Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut and in Justice League. So they wouldn't want to repeat themselves. And also, they're reasserting what the Justice League is in this DC Extended Universe reboot, because they're going to be in the Flash movie. The Justice League are going to be in the Flash movie in some sort of role, right? Without Ray Fisher's cyborg, it looks like, but they're going to be there. And, you know, this puts more doubts over Henry Cavill, because I've been in 2 minds for a long time. Some of my sources say, hey Mick, he's in Black Adam, he's in Shazam Fury of the Gods. I've echoed that to you lot, always saying take it with a pinch of salt. Then another of my sources a few months ago, if you remember, I did a video saying that he's done, you know, Cavill is being recast, they're recasting Superman. And I recently got another kind of a lesser trusted source was telling me that Sasha Calle's Supergirl is going to replace Superman full-time in the DC Extended Universe. How stupid is that? I want Sasha Calle's Supergirl to be loved. I actually love the Supergirl. And I think Sasha is a great little actress, and I've seen her in a little soap, and I think she's very talented, and I think she's great casting, and I think her audition video on Instagram with Andy Machete was a beautiful, loving thing, and I really was so happy for her, and I was happy that Andy did that. So this is not about Sasha Calle herself or her Supergirl. I'm sure it's going to be great. Fingers crossed. I mean, after all, you don't know until you see it. And I mean, we thought Justice League was basically Zack Snyder's Justice League, just brought home by another director. And we were lied to. So you can't trust these people at all. So I'm hearing a lot of things. So we still don't know the position of Henry Cavill's Superman. We still don't know about his future. And I've said a lot of things about Kevin Feige in the past, positive and negative. But ultimately, if he had Superman in the DC Extended Universe, he would be front and centre. Yes, he would introduce a Superman of colour, quite right too, and Val Zod's Superman, quite right too. But by now, like he's doing with Spider-Man No Way Home, Cavill, heckling, Ralph, the Superman of colour, we don't know who's playing him, and Val Zod, we don't know who's playing him, will be in a Superman movie together. It would be exciting, right? Because yes, the MCU has just started doing the whole representation and inclusion thing, but also you've got this huge Spider-Man movie that's not about political messaging. It's about fun and bringing back the past and playing with that. And this is what Kevin Feige's about. And this goes back to Walter Hamada and Ann Sarnoff. There's no one talking to the fans. These are people in offices who don't understand about fandoms. Kevin Feige understands that the fans need someone to talk to them. People believe that Kevin Feige is Mr. Marvel Comics. And I'm not talking about the diehards here, but a lot of people who don't know about the comics think that Kevin Feige's like a big Marvel fan and he's just like them, he wears a cap. It's all part of the fucking blag. And I'm not criticising Kevin and Marvel Studios for this. It works, doesn't it? It works. But we don't have anyone at DC Live Action speaking to us. Arrowverse is run by Greg Berlanti. He doesn't really speak to the fans. Walter Hamada doesn't speak to the fans. Zack Snyder used to speak to the fans. Even in his interviews, in promoting his movies, there was a connection there. Because he comes across as a low-level, everyday person. A working class person, like ourselves. And that's why people kind of look to Fake and trust Fake. Because he looks like us. He doesn't really wear a suit. As I say, he wears the cap, he wears everyday clothes, and it works. Of course it's a blag, of course it is. But it's a blag that works, and he runs the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, Marvel Studios, both in streaming now and in films, and he's doing a fine job. He's doing what they need to be doing with that. We all criticise the MCU, but it works for the people who like it. And right now, I don't know what to say about Walter Hamada's and Sarnos and Jim Lee's plans, because we don't know them. Because since they've taken over from Zack Snyder, we've had a few films, but we've had inconsistency as well. Aquaman and Shazam pleased audiences. Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman 84 didn't. James Gunn's A Suicide Squad actually pleased critics and audiences. It didn't make the money, but let's be clear. Let's not talk shit here about James Gunn's A Suicide Squad. Whether you who's watching this right now likes that film or doesn't like that film, people reacted on social media favourably to that film. It's probably the most favourable reaction we've had to a DCEU movie in a long time. Since Shazam, actually, by the way, because fans, you talk to die-hard geeks and nerds, they love Shazam. Many people love Shazam because it's just a fun superhero film, and that's okay. So, for me, the DCEU is in the same mess it's always been. But at least with Snyder, he was talking to people. He was, he was conveying his messaging, and that's always important. And we haven't got someone like that today. And this is why shit like this happens from The Rock, right? There's even been rumours that The Rock's going to run the DC Extended Universe. I don't want The Rock to run the DC Extended Universe. He's an actor. He's also a producer. He's good at what he does. But let me be clear about The Rock as well. The Rock isn't a bad person or anything, but all The Rock cares about is his platform and his career. And he says the same shit he says before and after every film. Yeah, we love the fans, we're proud of this movie, blah, 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 blah. It's the same shit they all say. They put their promotion smiles on, their marketing smiles on. Hello, we're about compassion and kindness. Please come and see our film. Because we don't take drugs, we don't go to drug-fueled orgies, right? We don't break laws, we don't abuse each other, right? And all the horrible things that happen in Hollywood, and they talk down to us and they lecture us about how we have flawed lives. We all have flawed lives, we all make mistakes, right? Sometimes we're unkind to each other. That's what being human is all about. Because these people live in an unrealistic bubble, they don't know how to talk. This is evidence. They don't know how to talk, everyone. And that's the problem with Hollywood. And, broadly speaking, the entertainment industry. So with Marvel Studios, you have this cohesive kind of universe. And I know there's been marketing blunders lately. I mean, the cast of Eternals saying they're saving people's lives from representation and inclusion. It was fucking a stupid thing to say. We can see that this is a film that represents and includes. That's great. Let us enjoy the film. That's all we ask for, right? We can see the inclusion. We've got eyes. We can see, right? So you don't need to keep on boring on about it. So listen, what The Rock has said isn't smart, because he has been teasing Superman for a very, very long time. And now, in all intents and purposes, he's saying, maybe next time. Maybe not next time. Don't know who's going to play him. I don't care who's going to play him. Really? When you've been hinting about Henry Cavill for years, and now you're saying, I don't know who's going to play him. Now, if this is some rouge and he's just messing with us, and Cavill turns up in the first Black Adam movie, great. And we'll all applaud The Rock. That's the thing. The Rock loves his platform and loves, amplifying his platform. Him getting Henry Cavill in Black Adam would have been a huge coup. And it's very disappointing. And again, we don't know what's happening with Superman. We know that Ta-Nehisi Coates and J.J. Abrams are apparently working on a Superman movie nobody seems to be talking about anymore. I'm a little bit concerned about that, by the way, but there doesn't seem to be much talk about it. I think a script is supposed to be the script's already completed. I think what Ta-Nehisi was talking about, October time, something like that, near the back end of this year. So pretty much he's finished doing the script, and then obviously there's other things, but they're going to take their time with that film. If it's still happening, that's the thing. And as I say every day, you still got Zaslav and Discovery coming in. That's an unknown quantity for these people. But what The Rock has said there is a scripted kind of take from Warner Brothers Pictures, because he's a studio man. Whether he's working with Warner Brothers or Disney or Universal or whatever, he just says what's best for the studio he's working with at the time and his own platform. And this time, I'm afraid, it's a right old blunder, Dwayne. Just to show you what a horrible mess this Henry Cavill Superman situation is, and what bums are at Warner Brothers Pictures, let's read a couple of quotes from Henry Cavill that he said lately. Because all of a sudden, since he started marketing The Witcher Season 2, he's talking Superman again, which I find very curious. Yeah, it was so much fun. It was the kind of thing where even I, after it's been so long since I put the suit on professionally, he mentioned, you look back and you think, what a wonderful opportunity. Even if I were to stop acting tomorrow and go live on a yacht or a steamboat or travel the Mediterranean, I can still look back and say, I won a cape and leaped about the place and entertained some people. He's so proud to be playing Superman. My heart breaks for him because he really is a nice lad, but he's a talented lad. It's a shame. And then we go on when he talks about what he would like to do with Superman. There is still a lot of storytelling for me to do as a Superman, and I would absolutely love the opportunity, Cavill explained. The killing of Zod gave a reason for the character never to kill again. It's the nuance of Cavill. We've spoken about what he said here before, but let's go through it. Superman falling to the ground and screaming afterward, I don't think that was originally in the script, but I wanted to show the pain he had. So just think about this for a minute. They didn't really, in Goya's script, they didn't even care about Superman looking like he had remorse or regret about killing Zod. Yeah, thank God for Henry Cavill, that's all I'm going to say. To show the pain he had, I did far more emotional takes they didn't choose. Tears were happening. I think the tears should have stayed in. He just killed the last remaining member of his species. That's the choice he made in that moment, and he'll never do that again. That's exactly the point of the killing of Zod. He continued, there's an opportunity for growth after that, to explore the psyche of Superman as a deep, seemingly invulnerable god, like being with the real feeling on the inside. As I always say, the cape is still in the closet. So it looks like the cape, the phrase the cape is still in the closet is probably because he has got the cape in the closet rather than he's still there Superman. I mean, I just don't know anymore. And you guys don't know. Nobody knows anymore. And this is how bad this situation is. I've been screaming for years now, please Warner Brothers, give us some clarity on the situation. Please. Excuse me. But yet, give us some damn clarity. Is he Superman or isn't he Superman? And this is where we are since 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21. Nearly 5 years since he last went on a set and shot as Superman. We're still talking about this situation. This is bum behaviour, everyone. Bum behaviour. This is bad. this is so bad that they just won't come out and clarify their position. And we're just going to have to wait to the Flash to see where this Superman is, what they're going to do with him, if he's even in the Flash movie. You would imagine he is, but you just don't know. Because they want elements of it to be a surprise. The problem is with Cavill's Superman, because nobody knows what the fuck is going on. It's silly. They should have just omitted. But probably he may be in the movie and they may delete him. He may not be in the movie and they'll just have some shitty backstory why Superman isn't in the DC Extended Universe anymore. As I've said many times, next year's 6 DC movies, both in cinemas and on HBO Max, have got to work. Not one of them can fail. And if they do, it's the end of the DC Extended Universe. That's it. That's the end. The Batman, Black Adam, The Flash, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, Batgirl, Blue Beetle, all these films have to work. And by the way, we have seen some on location pics of Batgirl where it seems to be snowing. This would tell me that this is going to be released of Christmas of 2022. Now what's interesting about that is that would be after the Flashpoint movie. So it looks like Batgirl will be after Flashpoint, which means whatever changes they've made will be in that film. I was always wondering when they would release it because there hasn't been a release date. As far as I know, there's no release date for Batgirl. Again, comments down below, correct me if I'm wrong. But if it's snowing and it looks like they're doing the same thing as they're doing with the latest Disney Plus show, I always forget the fucking character's name. The Kate Bishop, should we just call it the Kate Bishop show? Anyway, wow, Kingpin's going to be in that. That's amazing, isn't it? But anyway, you see, Feige getting it right again. But anyway, yeah, so it looks like Batgirl will be set around Christmas time, which would say it's going to be released around December time. But then again, when you look at the Hawkeye, that's it. When you look at Hawkeye, we're just about in December now, but in November. So I think it's going to come after the Flash movie. And I spoke about this yesterday. Which Batman's going to be in Batgirl? I think it could be Robert Pattinson. I'm sure that will trigger a lot of people, but this could happen. We're just going to have to wait and see how big this Flashpoint movie is going to be. How much are they rebooting? How much are they changing? What are they doing here? Is it going to work? This is the whole thing. Nobody knows. It's an unknown quantity. And because the DC Extended Universe, as I've said this term and phrase so many times, it doesn't have consumer confidence. If it had consumer confidence, people would have went to movie theatres to watch James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, which deserved more box office than it did. Really good, really solid, entertaining comic book movie. Is it a classic? Is it the best thing ever? Is it my favourite DC Extended Universe movie ever? No. But it's a really good film and James did a good job with it and it deserved better than what it got. But there's no consumer confidence. And we're not talking about James Gunn here. There's two things. I've said the Suicide Squad IP isn't that popular and the DCEU doesn't have consumer confidence. Now, next year is the year that it needs to inject consumer confidence into its platform. So it's a huge year. They're under immense pressure. They're probably having sleepless nights as we speak. I'm telling you, this is huge. You know, 6 movies next year after a kind of blundering franchise that's got some amazing films. It's probably got five to six great movies in the DC Extended Universe. But as a franchise, it hasn't been knitted together. They had Snyder, got rid of Snyder, brought in Hamada, and this is it now. This is it. It's now or never, or it's dead. It's dead, and it wouldn't surprise me once it's dead if Zaslav says, right, I want a Superman, Batman and Wonder Woman team up. And he'll probably recast everyone, or order that they recast. Who knows? Or you could just have a Cavill, Ben Affleck and Gal Gadot, you know, trio of a movie, them just together in a movie. That's what I've heard rumours about maybe happening in Wonder Woman 3. We'll have to wait and see. It's very sad for me when I come and do these videos and I'm complaining, but I think what The Rock said in terms of Superman and in terms of fans being pissed about past DC movies, him included, isn't a good look. Because as I say, even if he's not kind of aiming fire at the Snyderverse, he's aiming fire at something that someone out there loves. Always remember, just because you don't like something, just because the internet doesn't like something, just because people out there generally don't like Superman 4, there's people who like Superman 4. Actually, I like Superman 4 and I know all the issues with the film. There's people out there who like Superman Returns. I like Superman Returns. There's people out there who like the Craving episode of Smallville, voted the worst episode by Krypton site readers. I like that episode, but it's voted as a bad episode because I think that episode's actually got beautiful commentary about anorexia and eating disorders. You know, so, but lots of people hate that episode. I think there's worse episodes than that. But anyway, so there's always something that you may not like, but somebody else loves. And I've always admitted that. I don't really like Birds of Prey or Wonder Woman 84, but there are people out there who stand those movies. And if that's your thing, that's beautiful. So we've always all got to remember that. So coming out and saying this isn't good. And I think, knowing The Rock as I do in the past and how he conducts himself, I think The Rock will come out and because basically the Snyderverse community are tagging him. They're commenting on this and he will see this. He looks at his social media. Of course, he's a big famous star. He doesn't run his own social media accounts, but his people will make him aware that what he said hasn't come across too well. And The Rock's a gentleman. But The Rock's made mistakes as well. Teasing the Cavill, Superman and Rock bust-up in the future years ago as he did was a big mistake and it should never have happened. And he's gone on and he's gone on, even up to recently. Saying this now isn't good after what you've teased and promised, Dwayne. This has been the DCEU Daily. I'm Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss this sexy perfection. And I'll see you again tomorrow with even more DCEU Daily. Until then, goodbye.